Hey everybody, this is Jake from the Tree of Woe Show with my Smackdown review. Let me turn on the game real quick. As I talk about the game, I'll start off with, as I turn on the game, start off with Sheamus. Starts off by cutting a promo on Del Rio about how Del Rio thinks he's so much better than everyone else because he has nice cars. Basically, he goes over Del Rio's gimmick, line for line. Crowd boos. With Smackdown, you never know if the boos are real or counterfeit because they pipe them in sometimes. So, I feel like it was a good segment. Otunga comes out, orders an apology, and Del Rio comes out, talk a little bit. Otunga lets Del Rio pick an opponent for Sheamus. Sheamus broke kicks Otunga, and Sheamus's new shirt says hooligan on it. So, Sheamus is a hooligan. I don't know. I'm still lukewarm on Sheamus. I don't. He's not my least favorite wrestler out there anymore. Thanks, Big Show. But I'm still not the biggest Sheamus fan in the world. Who knows? Maybe he'll do something better one of these days. But him and Del Rio isn't going to last. I don't feel like this is a long-term feud. I feel like it's kind of a stopgap until Barrett comes back, maybe, or who knows what they'll do next. Next up, Sin Cara comes back. I want to really talk about this. So Sin Cara returns, and he faces Heath Slater. He comes out in the red and white. He's got the little jacket on, and then he runs in. Doesn't flip over anymore. He slides through like he's sliding into that joint. Hits a little backflip 180 off the second rope, like boom. And Sin Cara is back. My little sister was watching this match with me because she's weird and watches wrestling sometimes when she's bored or waiting for a ride or something. And she goes, "This guy's awesome. Yeah, I like this guy with the mask. Does he ever take the mask off?" I explained to her that luchadors don't take the mask off unless they really piss off the owner. Then they'll take the mask off. But Sin Cara, great return match. He hasn't been in the ring for what, 8 months, and he had less botches than people seem to give him credit for. Usually a Sin Cara match, Sin Cara, botch Cara. He botched like 6, 7 moves. He was clean this match. Like, relative to other matches, it was solid, and relative to standard, slow, old guy matches, it still was clean. It was fluid. There were some minor hiccups, but nothing really that drew away from it. His moveset really is one of a kind in WWE, which is pretty awesome, and it seems like people legitimately like seeing him. So with Orton being suspended, maybe they just move him up a little bit, and they get him more TV time against our returning Ray soon. I mean, SummerSlam maybe, but who knows? They could put him against a lot of guys. You know, they could put him against Antonio Cesaro. That'd be pretty awesome. They could put him, and then it'd build up Cesaro too. Put him against Damian Sandow. Maybe he comes out, and then Sin Cara beats him, and then everyone's just like, "Oh snap!" And Sandow comes out and beats him the second time, and who knows? I'm not really sure because they kind of are devoid of talent right now with Jericho and Orton randomly going out of the way, and they didn't like to build up faces to begin with. So maybe Tyson Kidd, long-term feud. Stay strong, my brother. Stay strong. Sin Cara's the man, though. Don't let anyone else tell you any otherwise. Sin Cara, within 2 years, will have the gold belt, the heavyweight championship. If they don't merge him. If they merge him, he'll get like the IC title. But he's gonna get a belt, and they're gonna put all their chips in this guy's table if he doesn't screw up again, because he is that good in the ring, and people are drawn to it because they're drawn to masked wrestlers because WWE puts 2 out every 10 years. So they've given us Ray, and they've given us Sin Cara. Those are the only 2 masked guys on the roster. They really haven't given us a whole lot. They took the mask off Chavo. So that's something different, you know. Look at all. Oh, if you have 8 7 feet guys wrestle in a row and then 2 mask guys wrestle in a row, it's no longer people. The mask guys, I mean, the 7 foot tall guys are no longer the spectacle. It's the norm. But the guys with the masses, they're so few and they're so different, become a draw, become an attraction. And because WWE has done a great job in just ignoring every single wrestler with the mask over the past 10 years, for the most part, when they could really do a whole lot of stuff with them, they're given an opportunity now to put the push behind somebody like a Sin Cara. Or when Ray comes back, they'll push Ray to the moon again. Because people with masks really resonate with kids, and a lot of smarks seem to not like Ray. I know Justin hates him, but it comes down to it. He's still like 50-50, and adults are going to cheer for who their kid brought him to the thing, brought him to the event for. So they're going to have the parents and the kids, and then the adults that go, maybe like Sin Cara. Who knows? I like Sin Cara, and I consider myself an adult. So Sin Cara is going to probably get pushed up a whole lot more with Orton being gone for 60 days, because that's, what, like 8 tapings of Smackdown? 8 tapings and 3 pay-per-views? Yeah, because he misses this one, No Way Out, Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam. Sin Cara's the dark horse for Money in the Bank. I don't see him winning it. I see him doing something crazy in the match, though. He's not ready for Money in the Bank yet, though. But I'm glad he's back. I'm glad Christian's back. So those are two of my those are two of the guys in my fave 25. Not my fave 5, but they're my fave 25 for show. Next, Damian Sandow included right in that fave 25, beat up on Ezekiel Jackson. And Damian Sandow, if you just watch our reviews instead of watching SmackDown, see some of these guys. This guy feels like a throwback. Watch him. He comes out, and he actually comes off as a condescending douchebag that's smarter than everyone else. So much better than you expected to. Because most of the time, those guys are just like, really? This guy's going to try to say he's smarter than me? He really plays the part well. He first came out, I hated the guy, and then I realized he was trying to make me hate him. So I boo, but I really have a respect for him. And he's not that bad in the ring. His finisher is pretty awesome. It's like he crosses the guy's arm, hits with a neck breaker. And who else I'll do it with him? It's weird that they have got all these guys going on squash matches and all that. At what point do you throw him at a Christian for the IC title or throw him at a Santino for the US title? At what point are they ready to do that? Or do you put them against each other and see who survives and who comes out with more heat? I don't really know. I don't know if they know either, and that's why they're going to be in squash match purgatory for a little while. Just ask Vladimir Kozlov how that is. Speaking of squash match purgatory, Ryback continues the streak. Do you know what the number is? No. Does he beat 2 guys again? Yes. Same style matches last week. The guys got some heat, though, by saying Roll Tide in the Louisiana. So it was pretty cool. Ryback has a lot of moves that aren't too bad. Underrated, because he has the Goldberg chance. Goldberg had like 6 moves. He had the spear, he had jackknife, and then a couple of suplexes every now and again. But I could see Ryback doing something pretty soon. He's not ready yet, though. I need to put him with somebody like, I don't know, Trent Beretta. Put him against Trent Beretta for a little while. Let Trent Beretta get one cheap win and then have Ryback just destroy him for 3 weeks in a row. Why not? What if you're not going to make a big deal about the undefeated streak or all that stuff? Have him take a loss to build up a feud, so that way the other guy can get some heat, so he'll get some more for going back over the top of him. But as of now, it's just like he just goes out there and beats up on guys, and there's really no interest because he beats up on 2 guys he's never heard of before. So, what are they going to do? Meanwhile, backstage, Del Rio's backstage talking to Ricardo. Ziggler comes up and says, I know you want someone to fight Sheamus. I'll fight him. Doesn't say I'll fight him, but he'll fight him. And then as Vicky's going out there, doing the whole excuse me thing. Dolph comes up from behind, snatches the mic and says, "Tonight I'm beating Sheamus." Drops the mic. Cue show off music. Had a different edge. Like he had that look to where he's like, "This is my time to prove that I really deserve to be there," because it's not. It's really like, oh, it's all a work. But at the same time, he's really out there. If he has a good match with Sheamus, he's gonna get pushed. So you can kind of, like with Ziggler, you can kind of get that feel from him, like when there is more of an emotional investment. Like when he was wrestling Ryder, you felt more of a connection between those guys because they were friends and because they both want to make the other one look good so that they both be on TV more. So that way Dolph didn't have to listen to excuse me before he went out there and he can get his own heat. Anyways, Sheamus and him have a good match by any standard. Good 1 hour main event. He makes Sheamus look awesome. Sheamus didn't make him look half bad. So end up having Jack Swagger come out. Don't know why. I'm pretty sure he just disowned Jack Swagger. Maybe Jack Swagger's trying to get back on his good side. Find out next week on Raw. Or SmackDown maybe. And then Sheamus goes, hits him, or misses him or something like that. And then Swagger hits him, or Ziggler hits him. Ziggler hits Swagger. Sheamus hits a bro kick. Match was like 20 minutes, so it made Ziggler look like he really belonged, which got that point across. Sheamus continues his win streak. Sheamus looks strong. He looks strong in the pay-per-view. That doesn't have a whole lot of star power anymore. So that's good, because there's no really storyline yet with the whole Sheamus Del Rio. It's just, it's my destiny to beat you. We were in a 4-way match together. Yeah. You are from Ireland, and I am from Mexico. I have so much money. I have expensive cars. I have iPhone 4s. It's great. So, the best thing you can do right now is not have Sheamus lose for a long time. Because as soon as you drop the belt from him, you lost it. As soon as he loses the match, you're basically admitting that you don't believe in the guy anymore. Because none of us believed in him, and it took you this long to get somewhat of a reaction. If you throw your cards out on Sheamus, it's not going to be good, because no one can have an investment towards the guy if he doesn't win. Because he's not a great talker, doesn't have a great move set. But he has the build, and when he wins, he does it convincingly, which gets him over. So stay tuned what they do with Sheamus. He's not losing at No Way Out. He's not losing at Money in the Bank. I don't care who's wrestling at Money in the Bank. He's not losing at Money in the Bank. Will he lose at SummerSlam? Somebody's going to cash in on him. Someone will cash in on him at SummerSlam or Money in the Bank, and that's where his next feud comes from. Maybe Barrett? Probably Barrett. I'm going to call it now. Call Wade Barrett winning Money in the Bank, cashing in at SummerSlam on Sheamus to carry the feud through those horrible, horrible, horrible October reviews where they give us 3 and 2 weeks. 3 and 5 weeks, something like that. But it's not going to be bad for either of them. Wade Barrett maybe holds it up for a while. Probably won't. But this, it's... I'm thinking, though. Let me know what you think on that. Because it sounds like a good idea in my head, and when I said it, I was like, yeah, this is a great idea. They should really do this. There is no reason why they shouldn't have Sheamus win and then lose on a cash-in to lose the belt. So, gain some of that underdog, people want to cheer for you because they feel like if they cheer for you, you'll get that belt back. And then get Barrett some heat because it's like, hey, you had to cheat, you had to cash in to beat this guy. You weren't a real champion. Oh, you had to do that to beat him because Barrett obviously wins dirty the first pay-per-view. Next one, he wins dirty again. No, he gets DQ'd the first one. Wins dirty, gets DQ'd, and then loses the belt back to Sheamus. And there's your 3 pay-per-view cycle. It sucks happens in 5 weeks. It's a total span between the first pay-per-view to Hell in a Cell and then Vengeance and all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about, though, where they have those 3 pay-per-views in like 4 weeks. Stupid. And then next, let's see. But Ziggler, on the other hand, what are they going to do with Ziggler? I don't know. Next up, we had a group now known as the Primetime Players. lose by roll-up to Santino and Ryder. Now, the primetime players look good. It was like a cheap roll-up win. Maybe they continue this. Probably not. This probably had more to do with the Big Show coming out and laying out both the faces than it did the primetime players, which is millions of dollars, which is Titus Young and Darren O'Neal. Darren Young and Titus O'Neal. Sorry. Boston's up 20. And the Browns got 26. Dang, you have their points. Sorry, got caught up. But who knows what they'll do with this tag division, because Darren Young and Titus O'Neal aren't bad. And they can cut a good promo. They look like they actually enjoy working together as a tag team, which is a shocker because you never really got that from anyone besides Epico and Primo. Even Bourne and Kofi, you were just kind of just like, oh, okay, well, these guys like to, hang out and high-five each other sometimes, play video games maybe. Evan Bourne likes to smoke the spice. Randy Orton likes to smoke the spice. Evan Bourne, come back to us, Evan Bourne, so you can feud with this next guy. Cody Rhodes beats up on Tyson Kidd with Christian on commentary. Tyson Kidd, boom! Great match for him. Great match for Rhodes. Great match for Christian. This carried everything through the next pay-per-view. Christian might go over Rhodes again, give Rhodes some time off maybe. Who knows? Maybe. Do you want... Because Rhodes is another guy. You can take Rhodes and replace Wade Barrett with Cody Rhodes, and what I said earlier in the video actually makes as much sense. A little bit less. Rhodes, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Of that situation, I think I'd want Barrett first, just because Barrett has that whole main event aura around him. Rhodes isn't there yet, but maybe if Rhodes carries on the briefcase for a little, he'd be better carrying on the briefcase for a little while. Maybe put it on the line a couple times. But anyway, he's going to be in that match. So the Smackdown doesn't have the guys to let him get any time off anymore. Thanks, Orton. But this feud with Christian isn't bad for them making no contact. And Tyson Kidd could, should, and will. I'm not going to say will. Could and should be going for this IC belt pretty soon. But I don't know what he has to do. He's just kind of stuck, where they're not letting him a chance to win to see what happens if he does win, because he's so good at losing. He made Rhodes look as good going over him as Rhodes has against anybody. A lot better than Booker T did. A lot better than DiBiase did. And DiBiase wasn't bad, but, Anyways. And the next, we had the Kane CM Punk match with Antonio Cesaro commercial right before the match started, saying that he's wrestling next week, which could be good. Let's just throw him at somebody developed already. Let's not have him squash him, guys. Let's have him beat somebody developed. And then that person developed be like, what? I think Zack Ryder wouldn't be bad. I mean, totally different styles. But him and Zack Ryder would not be bad at all. Why not have them feud next week, WWE? What are you doing with Zack Ryder that's so important? And you want this guy to be a heel and get heat? Put him against somebody like Ryder. Get Ryder some TV time. Get him in a match with a guy who, even though he's not familiar with WWE style, is an internet icon, first off, which is great because internet champion, internet icon, and is somebody who can wrestle like there is no tomorrow, or whatever I'm trying to say with that situation. But Kane CM Punk, solid. AJ comes out, Daniel Bryan comes out. Daniel Bryan hits both of them with a double missile drop kick and ends in DQ. Johnny announces a three-way match for No Way Out, and Kane double choke slams him, and AJ sits in the ring and looks at them both to end the show. And I don't know whether to talk about Kane being in there or not. It's not a bad thing. When they started putting Kane there, I was skeptical. I was just like, oh, this is gonna suck. But it really isn't all that bad. I mean, it's a triple threat match. Those work better when you have two heels, one face. And Daniel Bryan's kind of a tweener. So it actually works perfectly because if Daniel Bryan beats Kane, he goes over as a face. He beats Punk, he's over as a heel champion. Punk's going to be a face either way, and Kane's going to be a heel either way. So it really depends on what you're trying to do, what you really need out of your roster, and what you have planned in the future. Now, are they going to give... They said something during the match that I think is a little bit of foreshadowing, though. Kane hasn't had a belt, or the belt. I don't know if it was a belt or the belt. I'm pretty sure it's the belt since '98. Think about that. 1998. That was before Jericho was even in the company. So Chris Jericho had not even debuted in WWE. WWF back then. Well, that was the last time that Kane held the belt. And he's been in that company for years. So it makes sense. Just give him one more. I respect the hell out of Kane. CM Punk, you can see doing more risky stuff because he knows Kane's not going to hurt him. He knows he's going to be fine after it. I mean, he doesn't have the experience. He never really was all that super athletic. He doesn't really have a whole lot of it anymore. I don't really like the uppercut he does, but at the same time, you gotta respect a guy who works hard on his craft. You never really hear about him as Glenn Jacobs unless he's doing something political. Most of the time, it is Kane. He wrestles in a mask with like eyes black. So you gotta. He's done everything they've asked him to do. I won't be mad if he goes over to my favorite guys because maybe you can do something with them later on. What? This is where I'm torn though. Is do you want one? Do you want? I'm thinking ahead to Money in the Bank, which is one of my favorite pay-per-views. Great concept. Would you like CM Punk or Daniel Bryan to win that? Or would you like somebody like that? Or we'll call them Tier 1. They've had a belt with them, they've had the belt within the past year. Or would you have somebody like a Sin Cara, Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes? That's like a Tier 2. Would you have someone like that win it, who they could maybe push them to the next step? Or do you want somebody random to win it, you know? Do you want somebody like a Zack Ryder or Antonio Cesaro or a debuting Dean Ambrose? That's too far. I apologize for that. Maybe something like, you know, not Rose Clay, not Ryback. Damian Sandow. Would it be horrible if you won it? Like, think about that. Think about how I'd tune in to see how well he carries the briefcase and when he cashes it in. I mean, that'd be one of my sole focuses, you know, of looking at SmackDown because there's an intrigue there because it's not something we've seen before. But we've seen Punk with the briefcase twice. We've seen Daniel Bryan with the briefcase before. Do you lose a little bit if the guy already has had it before? Or at the same time, is it like you want somebody like that so when they cash in, it's even a bigger deal because not only is it a surprise cash in, you get the wow factor, but it's your dude. And that's somebody who's going to carry it for a while and it's going to, you know, be meaningful. Let me know. That'll be the big question. If you watch that far and you answer that question, respect, props. Sorry I'm long-winded. Subscribe for some videos that go under 23 minutes for the most part. Support my beard growing by liking this video. And if you dislike, I'm going to assume that you hate babies and you hate the world and you are a terrorist. If you dislike this video, you're a terrorist. If you like this video, you like my beard, or you like the Boston Celtics, or basketball in general, or anything else I said here, who knows? Who knows? Stay classy.